protesters gather outside of Washington, D.C. Trump is now in the D.C. area preparing for his pre-inauguration speech tomorrow, an ultimate celebration. Also in the news today, TikTok is officially unbanned in the United States. Officially, many wives and girlfriends out there are going to have something to fill their time again. And at the same time, Trump coin is currently worth $64 per coin, with a market cap value of almost $70 billion. I have all of your market headlines and updates for the day of January 19th, 2025. The stock market is closed tomorrow, but I think there's some pretty definitive things that we can say about this upcoming week based on this weekend. The golden age for investing is here. You can go ahead and throw out the intelligent investor, just give that a good little hurl, because who needs that anymore? Obviously, I'm just kidding, but Trump added about $60 billion from launching this shitcoin in one day. And if this coin reaches $500, Trump will be the richest man on earth. No factories, no services, having produced nothing. This is America in 2025. This is a post from TikTok on X, not the company, but the X account. And I actually think this news about crypto over this weekend and Trump's meme coin being launched is actually a positive for the stock market. I mean, for better or for worse, if a shit coin can hit almost $100 billion in value just because someone's name is tied behind it, I think that is a strong sign of what we can expect in the markets in the coming weeks, months, and really maybe even for the next 4 years. This could be a golden age of investing, because let's face it, Wall Street is pretty nervous as we speak. Sentiment is sitting at a multi-year low. Only 25% of investors are currently bullish over the next 6 months. I think that is going to rise quite a bit after what we're seeing in the crypto markets this weekend. Now, I know crypto and stocks are not necessarily correlated, but the fact that the president launched a shit coin, effectively a worthless meme coin, I think that's a pretty good sign that Trump's going to be business friendly. That, let's face it, the economy is strong. 10-year treasury yields are high. They've ran too much. Potentially with lower than expected inflation, like the inflation report we got last week, as well as PPI, there is a lot of room for 10-year treasury yields to come down, for sentiment to rise, and for investors to get repositioned into stocks. And I have to imagine for a lot of Wall Street that is really unable to take advantage of the crypto mania going on right now, they're probably going to want to take advantage of some of that mania in markets. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see a very risk-on market as we get into this upcoming week. Let's also face it, Wall Street's been very nervous about what tariffs could mean and what immigration will do. Obviously, if people get sent back across the border. And coming tomorrow, I think we're going to have a lot more clarity on that. And I don't think it's going to be nearly as bad as what people have been kind of pricing in. Now, also in the news over the past 24 hours is TikTok was officially banned in the US, but now they say that they are currently restoring services in the US, and the app will be back online soon. TikTok says this: in agreement with our service providers, TikTok is in the process of restoring service. We thank President Trump for providing this necessary clarity and assurance to our service providers that they will face no penalties, providing TikTok to over 170 million Americans and allowing over 7 million small businesses to thrive. It's a strong stand for the First Amendment and against arbitrary censorship. We will work with President Trump on a long-term solution that keeps TikTok in the United States. At the same time, Elon Musk says that it may be time to bring back Vine, which was like the original TikTok. Also, it is official that Trump's motorcade has arrived in Washington, D.C., to pump your quote-unquote Trump bags. But you are seeing mass crowds building, and there's some worries of a potential protest that could be coming. You can see here President Donald J. Trump holds Inauguration Eve rally in Washington, D.C. today. Now, one reason I believe that we're going to see a very risk-on market and a lot more speculation in stocks and crypto is because that's all you're hearing about. This post from Garcia Capital on X says, knowing I could have retired my entire bloodline with Fart and Trump, there seems to be a lot of FOMO for people that missed the Trump coin. Let me know if you feel that way down below in the comment section. That is likely going to translate over into stocks. And I can think of no better stock to FOMO for the right reasons than Tesla. Now, there's also rumors that immigration raids will be starting on Tuesday in several cities, that they are highly organized and coordinated, and that they will be looking for a public safety threats they know are in the country. Now, I don't think any one of us would argue that if you are in America illegally, you are a, bad actor, call it. You should probably be rounded up and sent back to where you're from. I don't think any of us would disagree with that, but it would be a concern from the markets if you just take, what could be thousands or millions of working age individuals and throw them out of the country. That could be an issue from an investing standpoint. Something that we definitely should be on the lookout for when we get Trump's inauguration speech coming tomorrow. And with that said, Trump is expected to announce 100 executive orders on Monday, with plans to start undoing Joe Biden's policies immediately. What are these 100 executive orders? Well, we don't know. The two things that matter from a market's perspective, for the most part, is tariffs and immigration. If nothing is too extreme on both of those, that's really going to create a positive market for stocks and for crypto. Also being reported that this crowd outside of the Capitol is chanting Elon Musk has to go and lock him up. And Eric Doherty here says he is the assistant news director at FL Voice News and a Marylander turned Floridian politics and breaking news reporter. He says, I agree Musk has got to go to the Capitol and help cut spending, and George Soros should be locked up. And I mean, really in simplest terms, the most simplistic way to look at this is a little bit of euphoria in the crypto market, and it's a lot of euphoria, likely translates into the stock market, which is like the polar opposite of euphoric right now. Stocks are very much not euphoric. They've been beaten down. Most areas of our markets are still in an active downtrend, with currently over 60% of stocks in the S&P below their 50-day moving average. Some of the lowest levels you've been at in the last couple of years. Could this bring out a new golden age of investing, if you will, where some of the fears get set aside? We can start to look at the markets from a more optimistic kind of, standpoint. Potentially. The CNN Fear and Greed Index sits at 38 today, which is still in fear. I mean, and let's be honest, this individual bought $1.09 million worth of the Trump coin. They're still holding all of that position with an unrealized gain of $406 million. That's a 372x of their original investment. Yeah, I think there's going to be a little bit of FOMO in the stock market following some of these returns as well. Now, again, like I said, markets are not open tomorrow. We start up for trading on Tuesday, and really Monday... Yeah. and this week comes down to what is said about tariffs, what is said about the economy, what's said about immigration policies that will all kind of evolve the narrative around what Trump's presidency means for the stock market. Now, I'm optimistic that things are not going to be nearly as bad as Wall Street is currently expecting, but we will see coming tomorrow. Now, this week, we don't have much for economic data. On Tuesday, we really don't have much. You have a couple bond auctions. You have the inflation numbers out of Canada. On Wednesday, you have the CB leading index month over month at 10 o'clock in the morning. PPI data out of Canada. Balance of trade, exports, imports year over year out of Japan. Thursday, we have... I believe we have initial jobless claims, expecting that to come in at about 215,000, as well as continuing jobless claims. But that's pretty much it. On Friday, you have existing home sales month over month, and for the month of December, final numbers for Michigan consumer sentiment. But that's it. You really don't have much of anything. If you look at the earnings calendar, you have Netflix Tuesday. I have no reason to expect bad earnings at all this earnings season. The banks have been very good, and typically when the banks are really good, then everything else is pretty good. But again, you do have Netflix Tuesday, United Interactive Brokers, Capital One, Zions, and others. Tuesday pre-market, you have 3M, Charles Schwab, couple other names. Wednesday, you have P&G, Abbott, Johnson & Johnson, Halliburton in pre-market. Wednesday and after hours, you have Kinder Morgan, Alcoa, Discover. Thursday, you have GE Aerospace, American Airlines, Huntington. Thursday, you have Texas Instruments, Intuitive Surgical, CSX. And then Friday pre-market, you have Verizon, American Express, and Next Era Energy. So with this new round of euphoria over this weekend, I think it's safe to say that markets are in a pretty good place coming this week. And I was already under the assumption that markets would rally after the Trump inauguration, that we've priced in a lot of bad news, and it's probably not going to be nearly as bad as we expect. We are going to get 100 executive orders apparently on day one, so that's something to kind of be watching for. But I was already under the assumption that markets were going to rally after Trump's inauguration because of the selling we've seen heading into it. But now, after some crypto euphoria, you could see things get even better than we thought. And this could be a new golden age of investing. And I mean, do you want to be a part of this, or do you want to sit this one out? Let me know down below in the comment section your opinions on this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.